Parshas Vayigash, Tovshin Ayin Tes. We're now past Hanukkah. This week we go back to speaking Parshas HaShavua. And the beginning of this week's Parsha finds us right in the middle of this huge confrontation between Yehuda and Yosef. And Yosef, as we know, had orchestrated this entire setup where his silver goblet was put into the possession of Binyamin, and really now everyone was in trouble. And like whatever they had tried, Yehuda knew, the Shvatim knew that everybody now was in trouble. They had actually caught Binyamin, quote, red-handed. As far as Mitzrayim now thought, they had caught him red-handed stealing the goblet, the silver goblet of the king. No good. Everybody was in trouble, and it really seemed that there was absolutely no way out of this at all. They were caught and they would have to pay the consequence. And the Pasuk tells us right at this point, and that's what we were holding at the end of last week's Parsha. The Pasuk at the beginning of our Parsha begins right after the Shvatim realizing and Yehuda realizing that there's no way out. There's no way around this. They were caught, and now they're going to have to pay. The Pasuk tells us, Vayigash Elav Yehuda. A simple translation, Yehuda got closer. He came closer to Yosef. But one of the explanations given for this Vayigash is that it is a remez of what is Vayigash. It is a remez of Hagosha Litfila. By Tfila we come closer, we move closer, that when Yehuda right now realized that he was in deep trouble, there was a Vayigash, there was Hagosha for what? Litfila. And the Torah is teaching us a lesson over here, it says in Nesivos Shalom, of the power of Tefillah. That in every and any matzav that a person might be, we need to know that the gates of tefillah, the gates of prayer, are never ever closed. And here it seemed like it was a situation, and they were in a corner that they cannot get out. So Vayigash Elav Yehuda. Yehuda realized that there's only one option left. There's one thing that can save everybody. There's one thing that must be done, and that is Hagosha L'Tfila. When all else seems that it can't work anymore, every Jew knows that there's another option. The option is to daven. And at the end of last week's Parsha, that's exactly what it seemed like. It seemed like the Shvatim felt that they were totally resigned to their fate. They were overcome by the din. And they're ready to become avodim to Yosef. They were ready, actually. Chazal tell us in how many different ways they were losing now their olam hazeh and olam haba. They had promised Yaakov Avinu that they had put everything on the line. That if they would not bring back Binyamin, if they would not bring Binyamin back to Yaakov, they had put their olam hazeh and olam haba on the line, and they were ready to lose it. And our parsha begins with, wait a second, it's not over. Not so fast. We still have tefillah. You know why? Because Hashem is listening. And Nesivos Shalom tells us that when we ask for physical healing, every time we ask for physical healing, refuas haguf, we also ask for refuas hanefesh. We need to know that when a Jew wants to ask Hashem for help, you need to know that the Yetzer Hara comes in and tells you, how can you as a person come to Hashem? A person, let's say a person finally realizes that they want to come to Tefillah and they want to daven. The first thing that the Yetzer Hara tells you is that what right do you as a person, who do you think you are, a person who does this and that and every other thing, what kind of a right do you have to come and daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? You know who you are. So the Torah tells us over here by Vayigash, the Torah tells us the key. And you know what the key is over here? the answer to the Yetzer Hara. You know what the answer is? The Torah tells us, Yehuda said, Bi Adoni. That I'm coming, you know how I'm davening? I'm davening for the part of me, from the part of me, that is connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bi Adoni, within me, there is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And every person has to know that you have to believe in yourself. Don't let the Yetzer Hara, don't let anybody ever tell you that you're counted out, that you're no good, that you're not good enough. And for sure, don't ever say that someone else is not good enough. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to know that you're always, always connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Nesivos Shalom speaks about this so many different times. That a person can never give up, and the most important thing is to believe in yourself and to know what you are capable of. And when everyone and anyone thinks that you don't deserve to have Hashem with you, the Nesivos Shalom tells us, don't listen. Don't listen. There's no such thing. You can always, always daven. A person can always, always come back and be close to Hashem and ask for whatever they want. And Nesivos Shalom brings from the Kabrinas Chassidot and Aleinu a very, very interesting mimer. And again, we've spoken about this in the past, but I'll quote to you now. He says, the mimer, he says that, you know, if a Jew, any Jew that has transgressed anything, any Avera, if you feel if a person feels after they do an Avera that they're not able to daven, that they're not able to come close to Hashem afterwards, then you don't know anything. First he says, you don't know anything about Chassidus. Okay? So you're going to say, okay, I have nothing to do with Chassidus. And he says, you know what? You also don't understand anything about Yahadus. You don't understand the connection between a Jew, between a Yid, and a HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A person has to feel that no matter where they've been, and no matter what they've done, anything, I could still come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I could still be mispalo, and I could ask for what I need. And that is telling us that Yadus and Chasidus, you need to know that you're never ever severed from Hashem. A person is never ever disconnected. Every side, a person has to know that every side and every tefillah goes such a long way, and it's so chashuv to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Yehuda asked over here in our parsha that the tefillah should go directly ba'oznei Adoni. Yehuda said, Bi Adoni, the part of me that is connected to Hashem is now talking, but you know what I'm talking to? I'm not talking through any malachim. I'm not talking through any other intermediaries. I believe in the connection between myself and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bi Adoni, within me, there is a part that's connected to Hashem, so I'm speaking ba'oznei Adoni. I'm speaking directly and straight to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know why? Because Hashem is the only one who knows exactly what you need. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us a beautiful, beautiful idea over here in our parsha. He says like this. We've mentioned that a person always has to feel that Hashem is your father, and we're always connected to Him, right? We just spoke about the entire beginning of the parsha, that you're never cut off, and you're never severed, and you always have to feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is your father and you're connected. So here's the question. Nesivos Shalom asks a beautiful question. It's a question that so many of us have. Okay, we have to feel that way, but what if I don't? What if I don't feel that way? Sorry, I don't feel that way. I'm not up to that point. What if you're not there yet? So Yehuda tells Yosef, listen to this beautiful vart on this pasuk. Yehuda tells Yosef, he says, Adoni sha'al es avadov leimor. The master said to his servants the following, Hayesh lochem of oyach. That Yosef kept asking the Shvatim, do you have a father? Do you have a brother? And they thought at this point, it was all very strange conversation. Why is he asking father, brother? So they're telling Yosef now that Yosef asked, do you have a father and a brother? The word sha'al, Adoni sha'al, means normally to ask. It means that my master asked. It means to ask. But sha'al has another translation. And the other translation to sha'al is to borrow. To borrow, on credit. And if you, so Nesivos Shalom says like this, if you just want to believe that Hashem is your Father, you're not there yet. You want to believe, but you know what? Things in life don't make sense to me yet. But I want to believe that Hashem is my Father. Then you know what? And you're working on it. And that Klal Yisrael, I want to believe that I'm connected to Klal Yisrael. I want to believe that I have a Yesh Lechem Ov Oyach. I want to know that I have a father and a brother. I want to believe it, but I'm not there. I'm not such a believer yet. I'm not convinced. And let's be honest, people are that way. They don't necessarily believe that they're connected to Hashem or to Klal Yisrael. But Adoni Sho'al, you can get it on credit if you just want to believe that you have an Av or a Ach, then Hashem is mekabel you on credit. All you have to do is want. In the future, Hashem in the future. I want to believe. I'm having a hard time right now. But I'm on my way. I want to believe. So Hashem considers it, says in Nesivos Shalom, it's as if you reached that madrega already. Just by wanting. Adoni Sho'al, on credit. You have credit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu accepts you on a credit card. You'll pay later. If we are just, as we know, Zochar es Karenu Oid, then if we just think the idea, Zochar es Karenu Oid, then already, Rachem Arachmenu Om Hashem. Hashem already has Rachmanis on us. Just mention Hashem. Hashem, I want to be close. I'm not there yet. You can do it on credit. Hashem already has mercy on you. And that is Adoni Sho'al. I'm asking on credit. I'm borrowing. And Nesivos Shalom says a lashon which I haven't seen him really say before. And we've done, Baruch Hashem, somewhere around 450 of the Thursday night shiurim and another about 500 something Shabbos shiurim. So we're close to 1,000 shiurim in Nesivos Shalom. I don't recall Nesivos Shalom saying this. He says this idea of Hashem accepting a person on credit, he says it's a chiddush mufla. It's a tremendous, tremendous, unbelievable chiddush because you have to try to internalize that. It's amazing. We're not there yet, then Hashem accepts us. And that's the lesson of Parshas Vayigash. You can always daven. Never ever think that you can't go ahead and that Hashem won't accept you. Never think that all is lost. Always believe in yourself. And of course, always believe in other people. Prop other people up and tell them that of course you can do it. You can always do it. You're not there yet. Adoni Sho'al. Hayesh Lechem Av Oyach. Sho'al. We're borrowing it. We're getting it on credit. Hashem sees that you want. He sees that you want to do in the future. I'll have Rachmanis on you right now. I'll give you what you want right now. Just on credit. You'll pay me up later. And that really is the lesson. Powerful lesson. Chiddush mufla in human behavior and the relationship between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. And it's something we need to think about and always remember.